I was just chatting with Dr. Wendy Rice. She's a child psychologist, and often we have different points of view on things. And that's why we love having Dr. Rice on, because we have such wonderful, spirited discussions. So I think we're going to agree on most of this. Steelers linebacker James Harrison, by the way, who's one of the league's dirtiest players. He comes home and he sees two of his sons have got participation trophies, and he says, "You're taking those back. We don't have participation trophies in this house." He tweeted out, "I'm not about to raise two boys to be men by making them believe that they're entitled to something just because they tried their best. Because sometimes your best is not enough, and that should drive you to want to do better." You agree with that, Dr. Rice?
You know, I don't entirely agree with that. I think what we're asking for from kids is to try their best. And sometimes your best is going to be good enough, and sometimes it isn't going to be good enough. But we want kids to try their best. So you asked me before when we were chatting if I agree with no participation trophies.
Yes.
And I don't know that kids need to get a trophy, okay? Because a trophy really represents you won, you were the best, you were in the top three.
Right.
However, I do think that it is nice for kids to get some recognition of the fact that they made it to the end of the season. And they were there, and they were part. And they were. It's a way of sort of marking that they were a part of something. And well, I think that's okay.
But you know, when you get something for just showing up every day. I mean, I don't get a trophy at the end of the week that I did, you know, both my shows all week long, and I showed up.
You get a paycheck.
Well, that's because I'm making money for my company here, is what I'm saying. You know, I mean, that is simply a quid pro quo. That's the agreement that we have. When young people are participating in sports, or they're just participating in an event, I mean, if they do well and they rise to a certain level, they should be rewarded with a ribbon or a trophy. Otherwise, you just say, "Hey, great job. Thanks for coming. See you next year."
And I think that's fine, too. I don't think kids need to have participation trophies by any stretch. And I don't think you need something for everything that you participate in. But like, I'm thinking about the kid who is, 8 or 9 years old. He's on a team doesn't win. Could he get sort of a, "We were so happy to have you on the team, so glad you were here"?
Why?
Why? Why not?
Well, because he's not going to get that in life. He might as well learn that's not how it works.
Why? They're kids.
Because I think it's important when they're kids for them to understand. And I'm not getting angry with you. I love our spirit.
I know.
Because I think when they're kids, especially you use the age 9, they need to learn beginning at age 9. Hey, this is how the world works, and you might as well get used to that now.
But I think they know that they didn't win. I think they know they didn't make it to the championship. They know they didn't get the best sportsmanship award, and they know they didn't win. Like they weren't all-stars. They weren't MVPs.
So
simply,
so you need.
Yes.
So we need
it's not the same, and the kids know it.
So we need to give them just a little something so that they so we don't hurt their feelings.
No, and again, I'm not saying you need to. I think it's perfectly fine to not do it. It's fun to go out for a barbecue. Let's celebrate that we got to the end of the season. That's totally fun. We had a great season. That's perfectly fine. No, I am not supporting participation trophies.
Okay, no, I know.
I'm also saying that I don't think they're damaging, I guess is what I'm saying.
And you know how much I love, just going back and forth with you. I should come to your office sometime.
I would love that. I have a really comfy couch.
Could I come and not pay? Maybe I could come and not pay. You could just give me a participation trophy.
Oh, can I come watch?
We are pleased to have with us Dr. Wendy Rice. She's a child psychologist, and she's doing her utmost to talk to me this morning and try to straighten me out on things. We're talking participation trophies. I think you and I generally agree on things. So what did you think of Harrison taking the trophies and making the kids take them back once they got them?
I think that was a little harsh, personally. Because I really don't think that if his kids this particular year got participation trophies, that in the future they're necessarily going to expect them. And I think that it's a little, like, if everyone on the team gets them and everyone else's parents say you can keep them and his kids are, like, not allowed to keep them, I think that's more hurtful than saying, rather than the dad saying, looking out in the future and opting to have his kids join teams that don't give participation trophies.
Dr. Rice, it is always fun to have you. Do you ever get people that call you and say, "I heard you on with Matt Patrick, and I feel so bad for you. I'm going to bring you lunch or something"?
No, I'm sure it'll come today, though.
You are a very nice lady for putting up with me, and I thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to having you back on. Thank you so much.
Take care.